I came to visit my niece. I walked out on this thing. I wasn't, I wasn't rich. My family was comfortable. I have two boys and a wife, but I walked out and I'll never forget. There was no one there. It was like early in the morning, no one there, and I'm looking out this blue water, and what I said was, what decisions do I have to make to be able to walk on this beach every day? Now, my whole family was in Maryland, right? Your whole family somewhere, and I was like, what kind of decisions do I have to make? And I'm not real young, so you don't make decisions later in life because those are considered high risk. But what I learned was after building systems all my life, technology systems and people systems, is I could take somebody, and I've been able. I had a team of over 20,000 people in that other network marketing company. I was able to retire about 1,000 people. Okay. When I say retire them, that meant that they had a residual income that was able to pay their bills, not a bonus, not a sale. I'm not talking about sales and one-time payments. I was able to teach them how to build a residual that could cover their bills so they didn't have to work, right? Because I want you to know I'm not a sales guy. I'm a very logical numbers person that respects that money can be made with systems, even if you don't know how to make money. And why I get so excited about Snap Delivered, I'm gonna be honest with you. The first time I saw this, here's what I saw. So I want you all to just stay with me for a minute, and then we're gonna jump into some detail. Here's what I saw when I looked at this. I saw the fact that if I was to do one thing, customers, drivers, or restaurants, if I just pick one, right? And I only did that one thing in Snap Delivered, and I did that one thing well, I could do something incredible in this business. Because I said a restaurant's gonna stay open and feed customers, and they'll do it without me or you. So once you do it one time, right? So Lloyd, if Lloyd goes to a restaurant one time and he had, let's say it takes him 5 visits to get that restaurant owner to say I'm in, right? It's 5 visits. That restaurant's going to do business year over year. And for Lloyd's little bit of effort, he'll get paid on that effort, right? Everybody get that? So then Cindy comes along. She's a Snap Delivered too, but Cindy's comfortable with getting drivers. So Cindy's talking to drivers. So all Cindy does is gets drivers. She talks to drivers. She talks to drivers over. Every time she takes Ubers all around the city so she can talk to drivers. She's doing everything else. So she's talking to drivers. And so all Cindy focuses on is drivers. So I'm talking to Cindy and I'm teaching her how to get drivers. So Cindy's sending drivers to Lloyd's restaurant to pick up orders. So Lloyd got the restaurant, Cindy's sending the drivers, and then I talked to Lori, and Lori says, "Well, look, I know how to talk to people. I'll get customers all day because customers are free. I'm afraid to talk to people about drivers and restaurants, but I can talk to customers. I can tell somebody to do something for free." And so she just goes around and she's showing her app, and people are downloading the app, and she's sending the customers to the restaurant that Lloyd has, where the drivers are picking up that Cindy has. So what I'm trying to explain to you guys is that tonight I'm going to show you a little system of how you can build an ecosystem with a small amount of people that'll pay everybody in your team, in your group, in your world over and over again, and we can all help each other make a whole lot of money by doing that basic thing. And we don't have to overthink it. And what I'll tell you is that who on the phone is afraid to talk to restaurant owners? This is a safe place tonight. It's psychologically safe. Who's afraid of getting a no for? All right. So thank you, Sandy. Thank you, Sandy. So we're going to deal with the restaurant owners first. And this is the first part of the system. I'm going to pull up the slides in a minute, but tonight I want to talk to you about this. Is that we get uncomfortable, right? Who gets uncomfortable when you go into the door, right? In your mind, you see yourself talking to the restaurant owner, right? But then when you get there, you're like, oh my gosh, they're going to tell me no. So here's what I want you guys to accept right now. To get a restaurant, just plan that it'll take anywhere from 5 to 7 interactions. Just plan it. Hey, I'm going in the first time. That's one. But if I can just commit to 5 to 7 for myself, like, hey, 5 to 7, and it'll pay me forever, right? 5 to 7 will pay me forever, right? So, but what if you go when I go into a restaurant? Here's what I do, and guys, I'm telling you, I'm not Tony. Tony knows restaurants. I'm not Paul. They know restaurants really well. I don't. All I know is that I care about a restaurant owner. That's all I know. I care about the fact that they are spending money, and so when I go into a restaurant, my this is my approach, and we're gonna have corporate videos and everything. And I don't know if I'm breaking the rules right now or not, but here's my approach. It's really simple. When I first go in my mind, I already know I'm going to come 5 to 7, right? Like 5 to 7 times I'm going to talk to that restaurant. I come in, talk to, if I go in, now I do call the restaurant first. So, all right, I call the restaurant first and ask to speak to the manager. And I ask the manager what are their hours and how long will they be there, because I visited their restaurant before and I love to just let them know I'm excited about coming back. Manager says, "Oh, I'm here all day." Because for me, I'm an engineer and time matters. Time is money, right? Right. So my time is money. But here's the thing is that all of you can do this, and I'm not going to tell you, you can go to Google around your house, type in restaurants, and get 20 restaurants that are within 5 miles of your home before you leave home. Okay. Because we don't want, gas is expensive, right? So you can literally Google the restaurants around your home, because I want you everybody say this with me: ecosystem. Ecosystem, like the ecosystem you're building. And you guys go ahead and put okay, I see some folks put some stuff in there. So the idea is that I just call the restaurants, and the manager, they'll let you know if a manager's there, and if you're positive, they're more willing to let you know that a manager's there, right? Because no manager wants to talk to an angry customer. So I typically teach my team that, and I want you all to know that you should just call the restaurant. The manager would be happy to talk to you. I don't talk to them about Snap on the phone, but I got a whole list of restaurants. So when I go out and I go into a restaurant, so now I know that when I go into the restaurant, the managers are always busy. So if I know they're busy, I do the one thing that most people don't do. I ask speak to the manager. The manager comes out, and I say to him, I say, "Hey, look, I know you're very busy, but my company's launching here in the area, and I believe in supporting local business. I see that you're doing delivery service. How is it working for you in our area?" Because I'm letting them know I live here. All of them, 90% of them have the same response. I've heard everything. Tablets, this, problems, this. But I say, hey, look, bottom line is if one of our biggest value propositions, I use the word value proposition just because it's because I just don't want to think, I'm trying to talk to them as a business person. So I say one of our biggest value proposition is that our deliveries are $2 flat. Would that be of value to you? Right. And so I keep it really simple in that process, because if he says it's of value to him, what I say to him is that, look, I'd love to just take a few minutes and show you what it would look like for your business. I'll show you what it would look like for your business. Now, I, in my mind, am going in because I don't like rejection. This is one of my personal things. I just don't like rejection. Like Sandy, you don't like rejection, do you? No, I don't like rejection. So in my mind, I'm already saying that, okay, if I walked in with a no and I leave with a no, I broke even. Right? But if that restaurant owner says, hey, yeah, share with me what you have, I said, well, look, I'm just your area rep. I live here, but we're a company. We're based out of Florida. And really right now, my main focus is one thing. It is, how can I help your business stay open and save money? Would you allow me to show you that if it wouldn't cost you anything? See, one of the things is questions. Questions are powerful, okay? You don't have to talk a lot. You just have to ask the right questions. And so they say, sure, show me what it looks like. And all I use is the flyer that has the breakdown of our value. Okay, and I'm gonna pull up our slide. I love our new slides too. You guys like our new slides in our presentation? Freaking awesome. But this system, and we're going to get deeper into this, but if a restaurant, how much do you guys know in the chat? How much does a restaurant deliver? If we have a restaurant, how much do we get paid on every order for the restaurant? Put it in the chat. Put it in. I see 40, right? 40 cents, right? 40 cents. The average restaurant does 20 orders a day. On the weekends, it may fluctuate, but national averages. So 600, you look at 20, 30 days, 30 days a month, so let's say anywhere from $1,500 to $2,400, right? So when you look at that, anybody smart enough to tell me how much it would take to get $2,400 a month? How much money do you need to have in the bank to get $2,400 a month at 3%? You don't get 3% in the savings account. Somebody do that in the background. I know somebody's smart. I'll do that. But if that restaurant, so I went to that restaurant, Sandy's talking to that restaurant owner, and the restaurant owner's excited. So now Sandy, he's ready. Tell me what to do, Sandy. Boom. Sandy has her paper forms. I think paper's quick. I love technology, but it breaks. So she does her paper form. She gets her restaurant in. What does in mean? Now, what does in mean? Everybody say this in the chat. I got people typing in the chat. Concept to cash. Concept to cash. The concept is that we get a restaurant, but to get cash, we got some things to do, right? All right. So if I get a restaurant signed up, I have to get remember, and I love it, but rock. $960,000 would have to be in the bank consistently for me to get $2,400 a month. Can you guys hear me okay? My internet's coming through. Okay. So I want to keep this simple now. Why wouldn't you make sure that restaurant is fully in the system if you knew you were guaranteed to get paid what you would need to get paid $2,400 a month? You would need $960,000 in the bank. So I'm pretty much paying you like you're close to close to $1 million in the bank, but there are people that won't complete the system to get paid. Tonight, what I'm going to walk you through is why you need to follow the system no matter how you feel, no matter what you're going through, because what all of you are about to create in this company is a money machine that you won't be able to stop. I get so excited because tonight I'm going to walk you through something. Make sure you have a pen and paper, and I need you to have a calculator on your phone because I want you to see your system. Because some of you don't realize how big this is. Okay, I really want you to get this, is that if you don't, tonight I'm going to talk to you about something called Snap 10. Snap 10. Snap 10. Everybody say Snap 10. Snap 10. We're going to Snap 10. It's really simple. And this is, if you never did anything else and Snap delivered, how many of you have been working more than 20 years? More than 20 years. Anybody been working more than 20 years? Tonight, I'm going to teach you how to stop working. I'm not telling you it is easy, but I guarantee you it's simple. It is simple. It's more simple than anything I've ever done. Because here's what I see. I see that the company's going to do its part. And I'm comfortable in that. I'll tell you, I'm comfortable and confident the company will do its part. It'll pay us. We're going through our growth. I call it our takeoff moment right now, right? The takeoff moment is when the plane's taking off, we're giving it all we can, and we're learning some things, but we're resolving them really quick, right? So here's do I have any millennials on the call? Anybody 25 and under tonight on? 25 and under, 35 and under? I need some 20-year-olds. I don't want them to have to work. Working has not been fun all these years. I do not prescribe to work in somebody's job. I do not. Saw my dad do it. I saw my family do it. Really, what's a millennial? Millennials, how young? 38, really? Oh, well, if you're 38 and under, let me know in the chat. Because you should stop working. And we're going to do a stop working plan. And here's what it looks like, right? Because here's why it's so amazing. you guys have the comp plan. I'm going to pull it up right now. I'm going to share my screen real quick, and I want you to make sure you understand what this is. But I want to see your faces. I kind of like seeing you guys. All right, so I'm going to pull it up here, and we're going to walk through this. And I want you to walk away. Oh, I see you guys over on my big screen over here. Perfect. So I want to walk you through something, and I want to keep it really simple. And then I want you guys to ask questions. So I think I muted everybody, but I'm going to pause so we can talk because I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you about because some of you and tell me, well, Julius, here's all the problems I've had. Some of you are going to tell me the things that have worked for you, but I want to talk to you tonight, and I want to be able to give you some feedback because I believe in our presentation, and I just want to jump into this. In our presentation, one of the pictures that, where is that? Here you go. Everybody see my screen? Everybody see my screen? With the presentation, thumbs up. I think I'm sharing. Am I sharing? All right, good. Okay. So the company says that if you get 3 people, they get 10 restaurants. And 3 people who got 10 drivers. And 3 people that got 100 customers. You would make $8,000 in manager overrides. That just means what you'll make off of other people. And then for doing it yourself, you make $5,600. Okay. I want to decompose because for me, I told you guys my thing is about options. I just want to be able to. I just want to wake up and not do anything for anybody some mornings. I'm gonna be honest. I want to wake up. I want to go out on a boat and I want to not have to think about it. And the first time I earned residual income, it blew me away. My first residual income check that I earned off of effort that wasn't my own was 24 cents. And my wife thought I was crazy because I was jumping around. She was like, and what I realized was the system I started to create was starting to work. So tonight we're going to talk about your system. So on a piece of paper, I want you to write your system because this is not my system. This is not Snap Deliver system. This is your system because the system will deliver, but you got to be honest to what it looks like. Now I'm going to give you some parameters in this system. The first thing is that why do we like restaurants so much? Like you should love restaurants. In Snap Deliver, you should love restaurants. Somebody tell me, unmute yourself. Why do we love restaurants?
Because they create customers.
They create customers. What else? Why do we love restaurants?
Because I like to eat.
They like to eat. You like to eat. Yes.
They cook better than my wife.
They give great service.
I will not repeat that. Whoever said that, I will not repeat it. Who else? Give me another one.
Ambiance.
Because no matter what they do, or no matter what we do, they will continue to sell food for us.
Boom. That restaurant will continue a behavior without you. I want you to write this down. Any opportunity that somebody will do something without me telling them is how I want to make money. Because it will happen over and over again. That restaurant owner is not building their business for you. You're delivering value, but they are delivering a product that they're going to do. So here's the thing. If I have a restaurant that signs up and Snap Delivered, that is gold. That is gold because they're going to do 10, 15, 20, 30, 60, 80 orders a day in your business. And maybe they don't start at 80 orders today, but as their business evolves, you are their Snap Delivered connection. You are connected to them. You will, as they grow, as we grow, you have literally secured a guaranteed check when you get at restaurant. So the question is, the first number one in your system is, how much time will I spend each week to get my restaurants? I had somebody tell me 1.4 million restaurants in the country. I was like, well, if I can get 10,000, that's about 600,000 a month. somebody say that to me. I think it was Bill Hoffman we were talking. And I said, well, wait a minute. I said, and I just have to do that one time. But I'm going to bring that down. If you just focus on the 10-mile radius around where you live, because everybody wants to go for the big fit. Like, here's the thing. Tonight, my system is not about going after 10,000 restaurants. I'm not talking to you about big, crazy numbers. I'm talking to you about how do you make sure that your bills are covered every month. So what I find sometimes people get caught up in, oh, let me go and try to get this big franchise that's 100 locations and everything else. That's a much bigger lead time. There are people that do it. I'm excited for them, but I will promise you, you can make $10,000 a month in this business and not do that. Tonight, we're talking about what your system needs to look like. So you have to say, how much time am I willing to spend per week to talk to restaurants? So if your number is 5, I say, hey, I tell my team, go get your first 5. Go get your first 5 restaurants. But our target is 10. The SNAP 10 system starts with 10 restaurants. 10 restaurants, because the first few times you go out and you talk to a restaurant, I only give them questions. And they say, well, where's my script? I said, I don't have a script for you, just ask questions. So what do you mean? I said, well, what's the first question is, are they happy with the service they're getting? Are they happy? Are you happy with? Are your customers happy? Are you getting the value that you thought? Well, if I can share my company's value proposition, it's simple. We just want to lower the cost to delivery for $2. Well, how do you do that? And they ask me all these questions. And here's the thing is that if you're nervous talking to a restaurant and they start asking you a bunch of questions, oh, what about this? What about this? What I say to them is that all your questions are valid, but if you could lower your restaurant's cost to $2 a delivery, what would that mean for your business? And I look them right dead in the eye. I will tell you, if you're not, I'm passionate about helping a business owner. And when they see that you're serious, they could have asked me, I had a restaurant owner try to ask me 30 questions. Boom, 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 boom. I said, look, all your questions are valid. But if I could show you how to do what I just said, would that be valuable to your business? And I've had nobody tell me no. So we'll go over how to get a restaurant and stuff, but first I want you to say, what am I willing to commit to my system? Because if it's I'm going to talk to 2 restaurants a day, 5 days a week is 10 restaurants a week. That's 40 restaurants a month. Let's say you're bad, you're terrible. You end up with two only. Let's say you only end up with 40. You get 1 restaurant a month. You're talking about 40 a month. That's 12 restaurants in a year, right? So you got your 10. You snap 10. See, the thing is that so if somebody had 10 restaurants in our system here, where's my math person in my chat? If somebody had 10 restaurants in our system, how much money would they make? 10 restaurants, how much would they make a month? And there's a reason I'm asking you guys to do this.
2,400.
10 restaurants doing 20 orders a day. 2,400 a month, right? So that's the 2,400. So now that's 2,400 a month. That's what? That's 24,000, a little over 24,000 a year. Okay. This was somebody who's only spending, how much time did we say? They were spending what? 2 hours. So now I want you to say, okay, in your system, I want you guys to write down a number. You don't have to tell me, how much time per week? I think I said 2 hours a week. But how much time a week will you spend if you just were focused on restaurants? Okay. And you say, hey, look, I'm going to just do that. I'm going to focus on these restaurants. I'm going to learn how to talk to restaurant owners, and I'm going to do that. So now you look at $2,400 at $2,400. It's a little bit more. It's like a little around 2,400 and 24,000 and another 4,800. And that puts you right around what, $2,800, $28,000 a year, right? So that's $28,000 a year, give or take, right? So that's if you took a whole year to get 10 restaurants? Do any of you believe you can get 10 restaurants sooner than 365 days? Anybody believe they can get 10 restaurants faster than that? Because I know you guys are. Yeah. So I said I hope so. But here's why I'm saying that is because there are people getting 10 restaurants in a month, but you have to build a system that works for you. So if you say, Julius, look, I can go talk to, I can go spend one Saturday. I can spend one Saturday and go talk to 10, 15, 20, 30 restaurants. And I'm going to do that. I'm just going to work my business one Saturday. I have one person that works their business on Saturday like a pit bull. And what I'm saying is that when you build that system, you build the income that goes with it. Now, let's talk about drivers. Now, we say 20 drivers, 3 people that get 20 drivers, right? And, 20 drivers, and we've had people say that drivers are, it's hard to get drivers and everything else. But here's what I want you to think about is that I don't believe in putting things in my space where I can't do it. Now, listen, I know people, we're grown people. We got some grown adults here. And so I don't want to make anybody upset. I just don't believe that things are impossible to get done. I believe I must find a system that works to get it done. Right. Because, some people say I can't get drivers. Well, I can get drivers. And they say, well, how do you get drivers? I said, well, people do things for 2 reasons. What's the 2 reasons that people do things? There's only 2 reasons.
Pain and pleasure.
Pain and pleasure. Why does somebody drive for food delivery? 90% of the reason, like everybody has different reasons. But why do people drive? Like food, why do you drive Uber Eats? Why do you drive DoorDash? Why do you do that?
Flexibility of schedule.
Flexibility of schedule. What else?
To get paid.
To get paid.
No boss in front of you.
No boss in front of you. To get paid quickly. Right? So if you guys already go ahead, somebody said something else.
I said freedom.
Freedom, right? So somebody's doing it. You guys know why they're doing it. So when you talk to somebody who's driving, are you talking to them about everything Snap Delivery can do for them, or are you talking to them in order to understand why they're doing it? And then asking questions, because you guys know I just ask questions. In my system, you only ask questions. And I said, well, why are you driving? Young guy, he was driving. I said, why are you driving? He said, well, I'm driving because I need to earn an extra, $100 a week. I said, okay. I said, so how many deliveries you'll do? He tells me deliveries. I said, how many people do you refer to do this? Oh man, I tell my buddies about it, but to get my referral, I got to do this. And so now I've told him nothing because I don't like rejection. So in the system, I'm asking him questions because he's telling me everything. I said, so if the referral worked better, would that make more sense to you? Yeah, but sometimes the app doesn't work and I go in this area. So he's walking me through this list and I'm just asking questions. And he's, well, who are you? What do you do? I was like, well, I'm a local advisor here for a company that's trying to help. We just want to help drivers like yourself solve the problems you just talked to me about. Would that be of value to you? He was like, well, yeah, what you got? I'm like, well, just like you talked about the pay, like, I don't know if we can pay you more on the delivery, but I know we can pay you more on the referral. He was like, really? I was like, yeah, let me show you. And so sometimes we're so anxious that we don't hear the person. And so the question is that I want you to put step number 2 in your system is, are you willing to be patient in the moment to profit in the future? Step 2, are you willing to be patient in the moment to profit in the future? Are you willing to listen more than you talk? Because I guarantee you in your system, right now. I mean, I have a young lady, and she's in the company, and she called me, and she's very frustrated, terribly frustrated, guys. And I'm frustrated for her, and she was really not happy. And I said, well, tell me what's happening. Tell me, walk me through what is happening in your world. Why it's not working. I mean, she told me, guys, she told me that um she had talked to over 100 restaurants and got all no's. And I said, well, walk me through, tell me. And she walked me through, and this is a single mom with 4 kids in a remote part of North Carolina, and she wants Snap to work. And all I said to her is what I'm saying to you tonight. I was like, get a pen and piece of paper and let's draw out your system. And we walked through this and we talked about, she says, oh, I can work this amount of hours to get restaurants. I want to talk to restaurants. I want to talk to 100 restaurants. I was like, great. Okay. I said, but are you willing to be patient enough to profit? I said, because we just did a role play and you talked so much, you never knew anything that I cared about. And she looked at me and she says, wow. I said, if you're going to every restaurant owner that way, they're not going to listen. They're not going to listen. Here's the thing. If a restaurant to you is a residual income, why wouldn't you listen? If a driver is a residual income, why wouldn't you listen? Because the system will always win over how you feel. And so I'm gonna say something. Here's what I'll tell you is that when the system will scale, when your emotion about Snap Delivered wears down, right? Because most people quit, 85% of people will quit. When your emotion wears down, the system will rock it out. Because if my system is really clear, my system is I'm going to talk to 5 restaurants a day, every day. And I really don't care if they say yes or no. And I'm going to ask questions. I ask the questions that I learned in the system. In my system, I ask 5 questions, and all I'm trying to do is get to a yes. And I love it. It's a card. I love the card game that Paul does, where he asks somebody he asks questions, right? But the system has nothing to do with my feelings, because if I get up and I go talk to 5 restaurants a day, 5 a day, 5 days a week, 2,500, 100 restaurants a month, I'm going to get 10 restaurants every single month. 10, 120 restaurants. How much would 120 restaurants pay me every year, every month, guys? About 120 restaurants at $2,400 a month. Somebody put that in the chat for me. I know I got it, man. I got
should be 24,000.
24,000, right? So the thing is that I want you guys to understand is that there's a lot of things in the middle, and I'm not ignoring what you can go through when you talk to restaurant owners. But if you knew a restaurant would pay you, don't we know that a restaurant will pay us every month once we get it? Once we get that restaurant, they're locked to us, right? It's kind of locked to us better than a stock, better than an investment. That restaurant is locked to us in our code every month. So why have I gone crazy getting restaurants? Because I realized the 1.4 million restaurants around the country will pay me. And am I tired sometimes? Yeah, I'm tired. But guess what? I'm like, I'll do it one time. You guys, so people have been working for 10, 20, 30 years, but the system will always win. And system builders always win. And I want you all to be system builders. So we got number one. What's number one in our system? What was number one I asked you guys to write down? How many hours a week will I spend getting restaurants? Number one. Number two is, will I be patient enough to profit? Right? So now I know how much time I'm going to spend, and I know the behavior that I'm going to exhibit. Okay, you guys ready for number three? Number three is this. Will I share it with somebody in a way that I can guarantee that they'll join me? How many people have had people tell them no to joining the business as a manager? Unmute yourself. Talk to me. Anybody
I
had
have.
somebody? Yeah. So why did they tell you no?
Probably more so my approach.
Okay. Um, give me some of the reasons you guys have had for people that told you no.
They don't want to work.
Don't want to work.
They say we're like Grubhub, like the other guys.
Okay, we like the other companies.
Yep.
Okay.
Did you mean as a manager or just
As a
just
just a
joining?
manager, just manager. Just talking straight manager. I meant $2.99 manager.
Oh, okay. Money issues.
Money issues. I don't have $2.99. Right. So I'm gonna give you guys this on why everybody could be a manager. All right. So again, you guys will hear me all the time. I ask questions. So who's gonna role play with me? Arthur, you had somebody
Julius,
tell you
I will.
no. Who is that?
Shannon.
All right, Shannon is my angry engineer friend who thinks he is too smart to do a business like this. Shannon makes 6 figures a year, has a nice house in the suburbs, and he's going to tell me why this is not for him. And what I did is I said to him, I did it all wrong. I didn't even send him a video. I said, Shannon, call me. I'm going to tell you why this company Snap Delivery is going to change your life. Right. That's how I did it. I said, that's going to change your life. So I talked to Shannon. I get on the phone with Shannon. Now, I don't know. Now remember step number 2 is that am I patient enough? Right. So, hey, Shannon, how you doing? It's Julius.
Hey, Julius, what's going on?
Man, I'm super excited. Things are going really well. And, I thought about my smartest friends like you, and I wanted to give you a call.
Okay.
And
I appreciate that.
So what are you doing these days? What's going on?
Oh, man, we got a lot going on at work. We're designing these new plans. We got this system we're trying to put together with these computers. It's just a new software that we're doing. So, yeah, a lot of stuff at work.
Yeah, Shannon, you're one of my most analytical friends, and I want to talk to you about something, but I need one commitment from you.
Okay.
If you don't see it, I need you to be okay telling me no.
Yeah, I can do that.
All right.
I mean, we've been friends long enough, but I mean, is it going to take a lot of time? Because have a lot going on.
Take a few minutes. So right now, I mean, I know, Shannon, you've been working like crazy hours since I've known you. You've been putting a lot of time and effort. And what I'm looking at is something that could allow all of us to be able to have a different level of freedom, which we all talked about, right? But what I want is what I want to do is, instead of me trying to break this down to you, I want to ask you a few questions. You've been building and doing engineering for a long time. So if you were in a position that you could build something one time and it would pay your salary every year, would you take a look at it?
Man, that'd be great. Because I mean, we're so busy at work, but we write all these programs, and then next thing you know, we're doing a different system. So it's always starting over.
Yeah, and I know, Shannon, does your family order a bunch of stuff off of Amazon and stuff like that all the time too? Do you guys do, like, I know with the pandemic we all did?
Yeah, we do, but man, it just costs so expensive, and so we kind of quit doing it. It's like I tell my wife, we'll go get it, or yeah.
I get it. I get it, man. I get it. So what I want to do is this: is that I'm not going to try to break this whole thing down, but I'll tell you that with all the work you've done and as smart as you are, I know the one thing you'll get is the idea of us not having to work this hard anymore, like we have. So what I want to do is this: is that I want to share something with you. I want you to take a look at it. And because we've already talked, I'm okay with you not being interested, but I'd be horrified if we didn't talk. So that's the only commitment I'm asking from you. Can I get that from you?
Sure, I can do that.
All right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send something to you real quick. Text it to you real quick, and then I'm gonna give you a call back in about 15 minutes, and let's just talk. I want to hear your thoughts, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, sure.
All right. I appreciate that. Hey, look, I appreciate you, man. It's only a few people that I like sharing things with, and I know you'll give me some great feedback. I'll talk to you in a little bit.
All right, thanks, Julius.
All right, I'm gonna pause there. Tell me why that won't work for some of you. Why wouldn't that work for some of you? Talk to me. This is our training time. Let's talk.
Because you
Yeah,
don't know the person well enough to know what they're wanting.
Okay. And so it's not a friend. So he was a friend, right? But if it's a stranger, is what you're saying, like, I don't know, and I wouldn't know enough. Is that right, Sandy?
Well, even as a friend, I don't always know whether they love their job so much they want to stay there forever, or they really are looking for financial freedom to be able to stay home with their kids.
Okay. Great point, Sandy. And so it is based on what you know, right? So sometimes you got to ask a question. Like our number 2 is being patient, right? So sometimes I just got to ask enough questions so I can get to know where somebody is, right?
Right.
And I stay away from the word financial freedom specifically because because most people don't necessarily want financial freedom. They want enough money to give them flexibility. Now most people don't even know what financial freedom is. If my bills are 8,000, I make 8,000, I have financial freedom, right? But it's so broad, right? So I kind of paint it like, hey, what's going on? And I talk to people, and people talk about money or lack of money, and I listen to that, right? So the idea is that, again, when you're talking to somebody, you want to listen for them to tell you how to talk to them. And if you don't have enough information, you go back to asking questions. I just ask questions. I'm patient because why do you guys think it's so important to be patient? If you sign a manager, and I'm gonna use a real story. Is my buddy on? Mark isn't on, is he? Shannon, you're on. But Mark's not on. Okay, so I'm gonna share with you guys.
Yeah, hold on. Mark's on.
Oh, is that Vicky?
Yep, I'm here.
All right. This is real life, guys. I love this. This is great. Real life. We're in the middle of the pandemic. I'm sitting at my computer, and what camera do I have on? All right, I want to show you guys something. And the reason I'm sharing this is because if just one of you gets what this is amazing. I'm sitting at my computer supporting some clients. Okay. Right now I have 5 screens right here. I'm doing my consulting. I have some other things going on, and I get an alert at the lower right side of my screen from LinkedIn. Okay. At this point, I am not doing anything that is not traditional business, right? Traditional businesses. And I get a message from somebody I hadn't talked to in 7 years. No communication, 0. And I'm going to pull up that message. Wait a minute. Let's have some fun with this. I'm going to pull up the message that someone sent me. And I don't think you use anything vulgar in that message.
Yeah, be careful.
But that person was Mark.
That time he didn't.
And why this is so powerful, because I want you all to understand that when you're most afraid, when you're most scared, when you're most not sure, is the moment magic happens. Because there is no way that it made sense for Mark to reach out to me at that time. It just didn't. I mean, like, I don't even know why did our dialogue, is it still here? Let me go to my messages. And guys, I'm taking the time to do this because I really want you to understand the power of patience and staying connected. All right, here we go. Can you guys see my screen?
We're still seeing the overview.
Oh, okay. So let's stop sharing that. And we're going to tell the story together because, I think real life is the training that changes people's lives. And so, all right, I'm going to go to September. All right. Everybody see this? this is how I learned about Snap Delivered. Okay. Because my friend Mark Walker decided on September 19th that he was going to respond to a post where I think I updated. I didn't move to a new role. I think my consulting firm, I had switched something on LinkedIn. It pops up. Mark sends me this. He says, "Hey buddy, it's been a while. I'm reaching out with a purpose." So Mark wasn't trying to say hi to me. He wasn't trying to learn what was going on. He made it really clear he was contacting me for a purpose because Mark knows I'm an engineer, and Mark knew that he might have known. And Mark, you could say, I mean, can you guys imagine how many messages get in LinkedIn? I get so many messages in LinkedIn, it's crazy. But I'm sitting here and this pops up and this is what I get, right? And I look at and he doesn't, he asked me to look at it, but let's see how many 1044. All right. So here's how engineers can bust your bubble. I want you guys to see this. Now, the average person doesn't ask these questions, right? But I'm an engineer. I'm skeptical of everything. He sends me the presentation, and I'm sitting here and I'm letting it run. I'll never forget. It was running over here. I was barely looking at it. I'm like, I don't have time to look at this. But this is Mark. I don't ignore my friend. I can tell him no really quick. I was very comfortable telling them no before anything else. And so the question is, do they have the infrastructure to scale? That is such an engineering question, isn't it? Like, who the hell asked that, right? But I already convinced myself, based on things I had going on, that I wasn't gonna, I was gonna be nice to Mark and tell him no. So what you guys don't know, let's see so this morning, so this is about an hour conversation. Now, I haven't sent Mark another message on LinkedIn since that hour on September 21st. But Mark, share with everybody your process. Why would you reach out to me? Like you knew me from another company. I was pretty successful, but walk everybody through why you did that day. And at that time you driving 400 miles a day in your job, right?
Yeah, that was fun. But honestly, I saw a post and I was not, you were in the back of my mind, but I lost your phone number years ago. I had no way to reach out to you. You were on my short list among other people, but I didn't have your number, had no way to reach out to you. So I thought, well, who knows, maybe someday. I just happened to see your post and I sent you a message. And, I knew you were a green. I didn't know exactly what you were doing at the time, but I knew you were a green. And it was a shot in the dark. But I knew because of our relationship that if it was something you were not interested in, you would tell me. But knowing your background, knowing your history, I thought it might be something you might be interested in. And when I sent you the message that said, it's been a while, I'm reaching out as a purpose, that's something I learned a long time ago, is don't try to sneak in the back door. Don't say, hey, what have you been doing for the last few years? How's the wife and kids? How's life treating you? Talk for 20 minutes. And by the way, people don't like that. I don't do that. I shoot straight from the hip and get to the point, because I don't like being sold, and neither does anybody else. I'm going to come at you straight out. And that's why I did it the way I did it. But I mean, I've always had a lot of respect for you. And, when I created my short list of people I knew, you were on there. I just didn't know how to get a hold of you at the time. So that's how it turned out. It was coincidental that I saw your post that particular day.
And the reason I thank you so much for sharing that, because and this is kind of, I want to go off system for a second, but stop wasting your time with people who you feel comfortable talking to. And this is just on my spirit to share with you guys. A lot of you spend a time. So there was only two things I wanted to know. And I'm letting you guys know, if you reach out to me or Bill Hoffman or somebody who you look up to, right? There's two things I wanted to know. There was only two. And Mark, I think I had a call with Tony the next day. It was two things. Can they scale this? Can we make it big? Because food delivery was simple. And then when I I took a calculator, our first presentation, and I said, okay, 40 cents. And I was sitting here. I said, well, all right, you guys write this down. I want you to write this down because this is how it worked. I want you to know exactly what I said. I said, well, if I get 10 people, so they said $2,400 if I went out and got 10 restaurants. But if nothing else I ever did was help 10 people get 10 restaurants, that would be $24,000 in residual a month. I said, so are you telling me that if I just get 10 managers that get 10 restaurants, that's $24,000 a month? And I said, am I willing to take some time to do that? Because I want to step further. I said, if I could teach 10 people, I probably could show 100. Because I know there's 100 people that want to earn $2,400 a month. And this is easier than any other network or direct sales or startup business I had seen, because I said, yeah, the restaurants want to earn it. I knew there would be some steps that people had to do, but it was really clear to me. And so somebody, Mark, who I hadn't talked to, seen, heard from in 7 years, took a shot in the dark. Don't be afraid to take a shot in the dark, because the most successful people, and I'm going to let you guys know what I was doing at that time. I saw was this company was going to be a multi-billion-dollar business, and they were letting you and me be a part of it. And so I want you to understand how big this is, because I think some people don't really get that this is not your traditional network marketing business where you're trying to get volume and all this stuff every month and you spend all your money on your credit card, because our owners aren't asking us to just swipe some card for some artificial payments every month. Because I call them artificial because the product business is based on volume and people swiping their card every month. We're saying, the company I came from, guys, before this, when I took a break and they paid me residual for almost 10 years, what I realized in that business was, if you got a business that services a real customer, helps a real person, you can actually earn money for the rest of your life. And so here's what I want to share with you is that the first thing is that I need you to write down how much time you're going to really spend to build this business. If you're not going to dedicate it, if you say, hey, look, I'm talking 3 restaurants a day, 5 a day, 10 a day, whatever your number is in your system, commit to it. Commit to it, because if you commit to it, even if it's 1 restaurant, I guarantee you, we still live in a country where 90% of people can't deal with a $500 emergency. Okay, so we can talk these big numbers all day long, and some companies I get tired of because we talk these really big numbers. But I love the fact that in our presentation, we could have went from 14,000 to, if you got 60 people that are doing this, you're at 100,000. You got 100 people doing it at 120,000, but the average home still can't deal with a $500 emergency. And so the first thing is commit to what time are you going to spend on this business every week? If it's part-time, let it be part-time, give it a real hour, because the system will work when you don't want to. Number 2 is that be patient to profit. Create something. I don't care if it's a notebook. And look, guys, I like spreadsheets and all that. If it's a notebook or whatever, I want you to write down everybody you talk to and track it. If you're not tracking something, you don't have a path to success. I have a list of everybody I talk to, and I have a list, and I have, with these stupid phones now, look, guys, I'm going to be really honest with you guys. So I went out last night and I partied a little too much. Okay. We had a tunes on the dunes here over at the beach last night, partied too much, got up today, did some stuff around the house or whatever. But I took a nap. I took a nap at 5 o'clock, right? So I took my phone, put a reminder on to wake me up before we had this. Okay. So The idea is that I have reminders for follow-up. If I put you in my phone, I already know that I'm going to follow up with you 5 times. So I put my reminders in because I don't want to think about it. Don't hold things in your mind that you don't have to when the tools can help you move with speed. Don't hold things in your mind that you don't have to when the tools will help you move with speed. Okay, because speed will beat strategy every day. I'm a strategic person all the way, but I will tell you there will be people in this business that will just destroy people because they are just killing it with speed. So commit to the time, understand and be clear, be patient enough to profit. Listen to people. They'll tell you how to put them in this business. If you listen to them, they will tell you. You don't have to guess. You don't have to sell them. You don't have to talk to them. You just if you listen to them, they will tell you, and they will tell you how to close them, introduce it, have them sign up. And I love a no. Like I told you guys, I was afraid of no. And number three in the steps, I want you to say no is my best friend. Because everybody who tells me no, I tell them to be a customer. I go, you order food? Yeah, we'll just be a customer. Let's sign you up right now. We download the app together. I don't. Here's the thing is that here's why when I'm on the phone with somebody, I'm with somebody who tells me no, I say, hey, look, thanks a lot for the time. Why don't you download our app for free? And, you'll see things that pop up. You'll see restaurants in the area and just, if you consider ordering food, that's great. Just try us out. And maybe once you try us out, that may make sense for you. And, by the way, we pay our free customers for referring people. And people say, what do you mean? Yeah, you're a free customer. We pay you 20%. And I walk away. They're in, they're downloaded, and now I got me a new customer. So no is your friend. Most people are hurt by no. They get hurt because somebody said, no, well, it's free. So, and by the way, I don't tell people they make 20% initially. I don't, because I'm talking to either a customer, a restaurant customer, or somebody trying to be a manager. The free value of being a customer is what they learn at the end. That's their no. And then they're sitting there like, well, what do you, 20%? Yeah, you get 20% for just being a customer with us. And you can refer customers and they'll get 20% too. And so learn how to know that if I had a contest, guys, and I'm going to talk to Bill about it, because I'm like, give me somebody that can bring me 100 no's to Vegas, right? I'm like, bring me 100 no's and I'll show you somebody that has a lot of money, right? Because if somebody has enough no's, that means they signed up customers. Because if you commit the time, you're patient, you have patience to profit, and then you turn the no's into customers. If you just do that, you'll have more restaurants, you'll have more drivers, you'll have more customers than anybody in the company. The problem is that it has to be a systematic process. It has nothing to do with how you feel. And the fourth thing I want you to write on here, and guys, there's some days we'll do motivation. I love motivating people, but I love people being successful more than I love motivating them. Number 4 is speed will beat strategy every day. So the person that's thinking about getting started will never beat the person that's knocking on a door. All right. So you guys say, well, Julius, your 2 and your 4 contradict itself. You said be patient. You be patient to listen. Got 2 ears and 1 mouth. I didn't say that being patient to listen means to hear the person to make the decision to get that sign up. But in building your business, speed over strategy. Get online right now. I want everybody to get online in the chat right now. If you guys are on your computers, your phones, swipe away from me for a minute. Do a Google search on the 10 restaurants that are in your area right now. Somebody go do that. And go to Google, just type in restaurants near me or restaurants in 5-mile radius. Take a picture I don't know if y'all can take a picture of it, and that's where you start. That's the speed. That starts immediately, right? So that's what you do. Tomorrow you're like, hey, okay, let me go get the restaurants near my house. Because guess what? If we don't have a driver, if just say we got restaurants, we got 10 restaurants signed up in your area, but we don't have enough drivers, but it's within 5 miles of your house. Wouldn't you drive for your own business for a little bit? Right. So that's the thing, guys, is that so the last thing I'll give you the our fifth step to close us out tonight, and I'm gonna open up for some questions, is that so the number one we went over. Number one is tell me the time you're gonna spend in your business every single day. Every single day, every single week, put it on your calendar, put it in your phone that this is a block. I do blocks. Hey, look, I work in the morning. I'm going to spend 2 hours here. I work in the evening. I'm going to spend 4 hours here. I work from 9 to 5. I'm going to spend from 6 to 8. Put that block in your phone on your calendar and put a reminder that that's my business time. I only can work some people say I can work an hour each day because I got kids and I got family. Okay, so I can work an hour each day, but I can put in 4 hours on Saturday. But make it real, because when it's not real, it won't happen. I just don't, because that's a system. That system is that I can plan for that. Hey, an hour, I'm going to spend an hour 5 days a week. I'm spend 2 hours 5 days a week. I'm going to 4 hours 5 days a week, and I'm spending 8 hours on Saturday. It's okay. It's not good or bad. And people start screaming, well, I'm spending X amount of hours on my business. I'm telling you, build your system. Put that system and put those blocks in your phone and then have reminders that you got to get 15 minutes before that time. Have a reminder in your phone to say, I'm ready to go. Yes, Shannon, thank you. Guys, here's the thing. Take a snapshot of and put it into our manager's Facebook group. I want to give some homework at the end too. So how many can drive for your city? Okay. The fifth thing is that I want you to write this down. Number 5, and I'll go over all 5 again because I know I'm moving quickly. So number 5 is hope is not a plan. Hope is not a plan. Hope is not a plan. It's not a system. It's not success. It's not. Here's the thing, is that as I look at people putting more and more restaurants in the business, 1,100 restaurants in the company and 50, 30 something markets open. I look at Seattle. I met some of my folks from Bremerton. I don't know if some of my folks from Bremerton on, but I got to meet some of them in Florida, and I said, man, just relentlessly, just relentlessly going after it. And you saw them open up and they're like, we're going to get it done, good, better, and different, because they just said, hey, look, the system. We're going to believe in the system. We're going to believe in even though we have challenges, we're going to believe in the execution. We're going to believe, because here's the thing, guys, that I already have the faith that our company's going to do what it's supposed to do. Our company's doing what it's supposed to do. We have some bumps. We have some growth things. I don't even call them bumps. I call them parts of growing a business, right? But here's the thing, is that once I know the company's going to do its part, the only system I need is me. And that's what I'm calling you guys out tonight with is that it's you. It's, do you have your time committed? Do you have it on your calendar? Have you said how many restaurants, drivers, and customers you're going to commit to working towards each week? When you don't hit the mark, you're going to assess it. You're going to have a retrospective. You're going to say, all right, this week I didn't stick to this plan, but I had 5 people tell me no. Let me go talk to somebody that's getting restaurants. Let me get on the group. Let me get on the manager's group and talk to somebody that's having success with restaurants, because I want to fix that for next week. But I got my plan for next week. I'm gonna guarantee that I'm gonna ask at least 3 questions before I tell anybody about Snap. Before I tell anybody about Snap Delivery, I'm gonna ask 1, 2, and 3. Hey, would this be of value to you? Are you, if we could do this, would this work to help you keep your business open? If I could show you what I just shared, would you be willing to listen and maybe sign up and try us out if it wouldn't cost you anything? Commit to, hey, I'm going to, if you're somebody that's out there selling really hard, if you're pitching it really hard, be patient, because the thing is that the questions you ask don't just get them signed up. It teaches you how to build the relationship. See, my restaurants, I have relationships with them because they told me their pain. So now, even if they have a challenge with SNAP, I can say, hey, look, I know where that pain is coming from. So I got a restaurant that's down the street from my house, and that restaurant, I know their pain. So ultimately, learn how to listen more than you speak. That's from my favorite book too. You guys may know that one. But then the third thing is that I want you to understand this is that, as we go through the system, as you build your system, and I want everybody to post that, their plan, make sure that you understand that speed does matter. Speed matters. Because some of you will say, hey, Julius, I'm going 30 days hardcore, 60 days, 90 days. The work you do in that first 30 days, even if you've been in the business, I mean, it's so wide open in our company right now. It's incredible. It's incredible. I am like blown away. Like I end up getting an Uber. I had to take an Uber to the airport, right? So the Uber driver was here visiting from Panama City Beach because I'm down in Florida. And he was driving. Well, he says, hey, Julius, I got a bunch of friends who drive in Panama City, and they drive down in Fort Lauderdale because he said it's a little expensive driving down, Miami, so they come up. And I said, okay. I said, well, look, why don't we create a plan for you? Snap, we're new, we're trying to grow, but would you be open to me helping you figure out how to make this work? Because he had some challenges doing food delivery, so that's why he was doing Uber. Because he says food delivery had challenges and so on. So we put together this plan, and I said, well, do me a favor. Before we talk, I need you to send me a list of at least 20 people we can talk to. I said, because I want you and me to come with a plan. Young guy. And he sent me a list of 51 people. And we're not opening his market, yet, but we've just been, he's like, hey, he's excited to have somebody that's just going to work with him, because instead of me telling him how amazing Snap Delivered was and how we'll pay drivers this and a driver can refer this, and I just told him, hey, look, how can I help you? And next thing you know, he's now just talking to people over and over. Now let's help you guys know this. He's not a manager yet. He's going to become a manager, but he's not a manager. But I said, hey, look, we got to make you to be a man. He said, oh, well, here's what I want to do. I said, let's create a plan for that. I said, and he has his plan. What I want to tell you is that if you want to grow this business, great. You're going to listen. People will tell you, you're going to have your system, and you'll commit to your system every day. Every single day, you're going to commit to it. Like, I'm going to commit to this because here's the thing. There's going to be so many people there'll be more money made in this company than we've ever seen, because the industry is already proven. It's already proven that it can make $36 billion in a year. It's already proven it. So right now, what I want to challenge you guys is to put together a system. And I like to get on to one of your calls, and I love some of you to talk to me about your systems. And Julie, you said earlier you have 5 questions you asked. Yes. What are they? Perfect. I'll go with that. So I'm going to pause now and have you guys ask some questions, and let's talk a little bit. Am I over time yet? I got excited on Blue Pass 9 o'clock Eastern. Sorry about that, guys. But let's ask questions. Any questions that I can answer?
Hey, Julius.
Yes, sir.
Do you have a list of the questions that you asked the restaurant owners?
I do. What I will do is this. Can I put them on a managers group? Is that cool? But let's go through them. Let's go through. And here's, if we have time, I'm gonna copy them over and put them in the chat too. But I want to make sure everybody gets them. And here's what I want to ask you to do. Even if you'll have 5 questions. But when you go into a restaurant, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to look to see if they're doing delivery already. Number 2 is that if it's a restaurant that you're familiar with, okay, I'm going to ask that you, whenever you guys go into restaurants, period, I want you to start to do one thing for me. If you have a good dining experience, just you're going out to eat, I want you guys to ask for the manager and give the food in the restaurant a compliment. I don't care where you're at. Even if you're not in your home area, I want you, if you're near somebody, if it's a restaurant you go to all the time, make your face known to the manager. If you're visiting an area and you're not going to be there often, I always ask for the manager, and they'll say, well, hey, I tell them I'm visiting town. Oh, what are you doing? Well, I'm launching a company that helps businesses like yours and restaurants lower their delivery costs and also help benefit the drivers that do those deliveries. And they'll say, oh, that's interesting. And I say, well, look, I'll be in town for a little bit. I know you're busy tonight, but can you and I maybe have a call and I can share what we do? And
Julius, can we have Deborah please mute?
Yes, let me go ahead and I'm going to mute everybody, and then you guys unmute when you want to talk. Sorry about that. All right, so that's one of this behavior. That doesn't cost you. I mean, if you're somewhere eating, it doesn't cost you a lot to do that, right? So it's a few minutes, but I want you guys to get into the habit of talking to the managers, if the owner's in there, just make it a habit. Just to create a behavior. I think creating behaviors have helped me more than learning systems and tools sometimes.
Hey,
so
Julius?
behaviors. Yes, sir.
Yeah, a quick statement. The way I do it, I work for one of the platforms, and I just have my card with me. I keep it in my back pocket, and I'm zipping in and out, and I'm watching how things go. I get drivers that way. I've got restaurants that way, and I've got some that I have to follow up on. But I just go to work. Maybe that's bad, but
no, that's not bad at all. That's not bad at all, because if you're working for and you're in and out, right? You're in and out, so you don't have that time, right? So the thing is that, but you want to make sure you're getting the information to the right person. That's why I'm saying, for me,
no, it makes great sense because I grind it out.
You're breaking up.
Look, I said, no, what you're saying makes a lot of sense, because I've been hitting restaurants every day over a month. We've got about 10, almost 10. We had 9 on for sure, but and about 50 follow-ups. But I haven't been efficient. I can tell I haven't been efficient. I just been grinding it. I mean, just, it's easy to outsmart me. It's hard to outwork me. And it's just been, grind. And if I can make that grind a little easier and make that experience a little better for the restaurant owner, that's what I'm looking for.
No, but the fact you're grinding is good. It's just little tweaks. It's little tweaks in your system, right? Little tweaks in the system, and now you turn all those visits into 30-40% of that 50 become your restaurant. So that's what we're here for. Like, I want to help you guys do those little tweaks, especially you guys are out working. A lot of you are out working really hard, and I want to give you the tweaks so that you can close more of them, because it doesn't take a lot. It just takes little behaviors that really, and when it clicks, man, you will blow it out the water, without a doubt. Any other questions?
Oh, I have a really big tip, because I do sales more than I do engineering. Right. Nobody wants to fix anything anymore. I found the most important thing, at least for me, is to get the person's phone number or contact information. Otherwise, most of the time they will not call you back for whatever reason. That's the most important thing I found.
Yeah, I don't give information without getting information. So that's just because, let's say you got 1,000 postcards, right? 1,000 business cards. It really doesn't matter if you don't get information. And the thing is that I'll tell you, somebody is more willing to give you their information when you ask them a question versus selling them a solution initially, because they don't know you, right? So I'll tell you, I've gotten more managers' cards because I've asked them questions like, hey, well, I see you doing delivery, we're new to the area, I'm local, and if I could lower your cost and it makes sense, if it makes sense for you with that, if I could lower that cost, would it be of value to your business, right? And managers like, I don't know if it's the way you ask. I think it's more the way you ask it, but you got to connect with a person. And I spend more time having that connection because remember, I can hand out 1,000 cards and get 10 restaurants, or I can hand out 10 cards and get 10 restaurants. It's all about what do you see more important. I think that I want to teach you guys really to understand that some people say, well, I can go hit 1,000 restaurants, great, but you only close one, and that doesn't add up, right? So patience drives profits when it comes to building relationships. To all my sales guys on the call, I mean, some of the best sales guys I've known, they're the ones who taught me that, right? So I'll tell you, it's they'll tell you what they want from you, and then boom, you just hit them with it. If it's the $2, if it's the and I think somebody put in there, everybody asked me about will we have POS integration. Everybody, and I had a man, and here's the part where a lot of people get nervous, right? And I'll say to them, at some point we will, but right now, here's what I say: at some point we will, but right now, if I can cut your costs from 30% down to $2 guaranteed per delivery. If you just pulled up your orders you're doing right now, and you run my $2 across that number, how much would you save? I said, so why don't we set a time? And I told one guy this, let's set a time. You go get those numbers. You don't have to tell me. I don't want to see your delivery numbers. Mostly all managers know their delivery costs, though. I have learned that they know how much of that bottom line is getting hit. I had one guy come back to me, oh man, if you lowered to $2, when I went to meet with him the following day, if you lowered me to $2, you would save me roughly around $16,000 a month, a quarter in costs. So I said, so why are we talking about POS integration? And he bust out laughing because I'm like, he could literally hire somebody to manage my tablet. And it would be cheap. He would still paying somebody $10 an hour. He could pay somebody just to manage my Snap Delivery. And I do say that sometimes. I said, so you could pay somebody to manage my Snap Delivery tablet only, and you would still be saving money. And he said yes. So questions. If because I get POS integration all the time. Everybody wants it. But at the end of the day, you have to know and talk to your business owners. And if you guys have friends who own businesses, if you can impact their bottom line, they will listen to you and, ask the right questions. Don't be afraid. If you bomb out, if you're stuttering, if you're nervous, just do it a couple of times. I say do it, because once you realize that people will tell you yes, it'll blow your mind. Hey, Shannon. Shannon's one of our restaurant. I know we got some big restaurant gatherers on the call. I want to call you guys up for a little bit, and let's share some nuggets, because you guys are closing restaurants, and share some nuggets with the rest of the team. I'm one person that loves this company, and but you guys are out there on the front lines too, and so anybody got any nuggets to share?
I do.
Come on,
Shannon, you can go.
Go ahead, Stacy.
So I just gotta say, if you guys don't do it, you'll never get anywhere. My little town doesn't have any delivery, and over half of the restaurants have told me no. I finally got 5 of them to tell me yes. We're pretty much ready to go. We're just waiting on Alex to let me know what else I need to open, but Paul's going to let me open with 5 restaurants. But because we're such a small town, we have like 30 restaurants, but half of them are corporate. So it's a lot harder, and a lot of them are like hotels based restaurants. So, but I've probably gotten over 120 no's. I've been in 2 major cities plus my town, and I only have 12 restaurants signed up. So if you guys if you just sit there and don't do it, and being consistent and persistent about it, like going back every couple of weeks, if they tell you no, just go back in and see them again. You just got to keep going. So I went into
Stacy, you said something really powerful there, because I want everybody to understand that Stacy was learning. She's doing on the job learning, right? Because Stacy's going into her restaurants, talking to everybody, and she said she talked to over 120 restaurants, right? She got 12 to sign up, but those 12 are going to pay her consistently, right? So it's a one-time effort. Like that's the part that you gotta don't miss that because it's not a bad thing that it's a good thing for all of you that you get to learn from people like Stacy, so you don't have to go through that, but what she's creating is a machine because now I guarantee you Stacy's probably closing more as she talks to restaurants when she travels. But I want you all to understand is that you got a community and a family now of people who have done this and done some of the heavy lifting, and you can now come in and learn from that. And I'm excited about that. Stacy, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Because your
Anybody can
efforts,
call me.
yeah.
If they have any questions, they can call me and I can answer them. I pretty much have my phone all the time. So I'll leave my phone number in the chat. Lulu can vouch for that. So if she's on here tonight, she actually closed 2 restaurants today just from me saying, hey, just get out there and do it. That's all you got to do. And if you all don't want to buy the flyers and print your own, an Epson EcoTank printer is the best investment you'll ever spend.
Best investment, Stacy. I
Yes.
love that is the best investment that will print a million. You fill up those little jars, they'll print forever. It is the best investment.
Yes,
Put
I'm
that
on
in
my
the chat.
second. Yes, I am. That I went and bought another one, and I'm having my old one serviced in like 2 weeks. My next paycheck, and I will help you with flyers and stuff like that. It's awesome.
Thanks, Stacy.
You're
Shannon,
welcome.
Shannon, talk to us.
All right. So what I do is first thing I do when I go to a restaurant, I will see what's on their door as I walk in. A lot of times I will buy something because a restaurant is more willing to talk to a customer than a salesperson. So I go in, I make an observation statement, I pique their curiosity, I play dumb. So what I do is I say, hey, I noticed the DoorDash on your door there. My understanding that they charge somewhere between 15 to 30%. Is that right? And then I let them talk. And then if they're the decision maker, they'll talk about it. If they're not, they'll like, oh, you'd have to talk to my manager. Like, oh, are they here? So I get them to bring them up front. Then I will just be brief. I put a flyer in the hand. I pique their curiosity, and I get permission because I say, hey, I acknowledge that you're busy. I just showed up. And I just say, hey, just wanted to drop off this flyer here. And then they look at it, and then I just kind of touch on the bullet points. And then if they start asking questions, they're curious. And so I say, well, do you have a minute? Or do you want to, or I'll be back, I can come back tomorrow. What's a good time for you? Now or tomorrow? What time? And so I'm always setting an appointment. So I pique their curiosity, build rapport, pique their curiosity, and get permission to set an appointment right then or come back tomorrow.
No, that's great. And again, it's touches, right? Plan the touches. Plan that you're going to touch, 5 to 7. Some of you will touch more or less, but the better you get, the fewer touches you have to make because you ask the right questions to learn more about them. And so now the next questions you ask drive to their results. So what I will do is this, because I know I'm way over time and Paul might get me, but I want you guys to know this is fun. I want to thank you all for being on. It's Friday night, and I have so much respect for all of you for investing in yourselves and your business. I want you all to have options. I think people talk, people have different needs. Some of you want money for health reasons, retirement, whatever your reasons are. But I want everybody to have options. I think we live in a country that we have the opportunity to have options, and we should be able to do something that allows us to be successful. And I got to ride a bicycle now because I tried to fill up my truck, and I thought the gas thing was broke. It went so daggone high, but I can ride a bicycle to the local restaurant and get me a couple of restaurants signed up. But you guys have a great weekend. I really look forward to seeing all of you in Vegas. I really want to see you guys in Vegas. And I know some of you like, oh, how do I do it? Here's what I say is that system. Build a system so you can get to Vegas with us. I want to see you guys. I want to hang out. I do have me and Bill and me are going to figure something out. I want to run some kind of promotion for like a special private coaching with me and Bill in Vegas. So look forward to that next week. I'm going to talk to Bill. We're going to figure something out, a dinner with us to really talk through how to build a 6 and 7 figure business with Snap Deliver. Because
Hey,
I feel,
Julius.
hey,
Julius.
Hey, just to let you all know, the Super 8 Wyndham is like 2 blocks away from the event, and it's about $95 a night. And you can get some kind of bus thing that you pay the 24-hour ticket that runs along the strip, and the Wyndham or the bus Wyndham is right on the strip, so you don't have to pay Uber or a Lyft. Just so y'all know.
Stacy, put that in the managers group for us on Facebook.
Okay, I will.
All right, for folks. So
as soon as I get the actual information for the bus, I will. My aunt told it to me last night.
Thank you.
Julius, I want to share one exciting thing before we go. See this? I just ordered with a new system from one of my restaurants here in Houston. We're doing an initial order on the new system.
That is awesome. Because you guys launched, right?
Yeah. So I went by their place today and put the merchant app on their tablet, and then for dinner I ordered with the new user app on my phone.
Nice.
Restaurant. I was the driver, so I got to see the new driver app and got to see the whole thing.
The ecosystem, right? You owned your ecosystem.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's awesome. Awesome, Shannon. Guys, have a great night, and I will see you back. I'm sure I'll be on some more trainings in the manager app. I'll be interacting there. I'll post some things for you guys there, but just keep it simple. Build your system, and you will build your business. And I'm looking forward to seeing all of you have success, options, and having a